So, recently I've been thinking about the future, right? And the future of the world, the future of relationships, the future of human beings as generals. And I would like to say that human progression is finally starting to slow down. It's finally starting to die, and the reason is because we are entering into the woke dark ages. We as a society, as, a planet basically, are going to fall into a new Christian dark ages, a new period where scientific advancement, at least as we know it, at least, as far as social and cultural advancement, as far as art, as far as, beauty, it's going to hit a stop, and it's going to be stuck, and it's going to break, basically. Human beings, because of woke, degenerate culture, are going to go into a couple 100-year period within the next, however many centuries, however long this takes, however long for this mind plague to finally die. We're going to enter into a period of complete and total end of progression where we fall down endlessly into a, imagine like a Soviet-style gulag, right? But the entire planet wide. There's going to be no escape. There's going to be no way you can fight it, and you're just going to be stuck for several generations, who knows how many 100 years, in this milieu of, destructive, woke ideology. And there's really nothing anyone can do about that. That's pretty much set in stone. And the results of that might be devastating for us and any sort of Star Wars goals, maybe, who knows? It might be the end of any sort of, progression as far as art goes, and maybe when we come out of it, we'll have a new, paleoconservative renaissance at the end. Maybe. Who knows? But, it's been a long time since we've entered into a left-wing dark ages, right? And so the implications of that are, you're kind of at a lucky point in history. I know there's a lot of suffering. I know things are awful, but you're at the point in history where you're not a boomer, you're not a degenerate that had to live through that, suffered through being such a selfish and retarded generation. You're not a zoomer, you're not going to have to suffer, hopefully you're not going to be born into the suffering, at least not a sub-10-year-old zoomer right now, born into the suffering and maybe getting the brunt of the, starting of the dark ages or the first real decline of human history. You're born just at the right time where you can still enjoy media from a pre-woke, pre-cucked era, and you can compile it for future generations as like forbidden tomes, forbidden lore, forbidden meaning, and you can still have good stories, good media to enjoy. You can have good hobbies, that aren't just based around hunting, fishing, physical stuff. So, you're part of the last generation of people, basically, that is going to be able to have free and independent thoughts and interesting ideas, at least for a while. And that's not that bad, honestly. It could be worse. There are some bright spots about it. So, you've been given this gift of, knowledge about the terrible future. You exist in a time now where you have at least some semblance of free speech still left over, right? You have the basics of it. And so with that, you basically now get to live out your life, at least enjoying things that aren't absolutely atrocious, right? You're not stuck in the, 7th century, only able to, look at words on a page you can't read in the Bible and have the preacher yell at you about it and then go back to your, meandering blacksmithing job or whatever. There's some hope, at least, for you as a person or you in a future. Smoke is... go away. I love the smell of the incense, but I don't want smoke in my eyes right now. And so, categorize your memories, protect them. I've said it again and again, but, just reinforcing that point, start getting together and archiving everything that's important to you, everything about the world that you like, getting it all in one place and getting backups of it so that as long as you exist, you will, have abilities to access that. And the neo-Marxists and the Marxists of today may try and rewrite history, and they might succeed, but you'll always have tangible proof of the things you enjoyed, of the media you liked. And it can be hidden away on some laptop somewhere, Worst comes to worst, have it on some, non-paused computer hidden away somewhere where, without the NSA backdoors, where it's not connected to the, air gap it if necessary, to where it can be protected, Depending on how bad the spyware gets, how authoritarian the, new color revolution here in the West gets. Have all of your media safe, secure, and sound, and have it stored away in a way that you like it. Because we are entering into a woke dark age. Prepare. We are going to enter into, a new era of suffering, and if you aren't prepared, if you don't have funds, if you don't have a way to protect yourself, things could go awry, and you should definitely be in a place to protect yourself from all of that. Get to a point where no matter what happens, you are at least somewhat safe and somewhat insulated from all of this world. And let other people go and, kill themselves over all of this shenanigans. Let the idiots sacrifice themselves when, Cuck Walsh cries for them to do so. Let them all, be at the altar of progressivism. Let them all be in front of the gynocracy. Let them try and hold up the world for women, and see where it goes. That's not our concern. That's not our problem. We're going to do us. We're going to be, lead gamer boys, and we're going to make, the best world we can for ourselves. And keep working towards that, my dudes.